Harvard, don't settle. I know you're itching to settle because that's in your nature as an academic institution, but you're winning in courts. You just won your second preliminary injunction against the Trump administration for an unconstitutional violation of your rights to try to take you out of the game of having foreign students. Not so, says Judge Burroughs in her second injunction hearing. You are still going to be allowed to have foreign students, which is very lucrative and is also very conducive to having a diverse student body. Harvard, fight back. I tell you why on my new podcast, The Intersection. And here's a clip. But the thematics for tonight's The Intersection are the F-bomb and the Trump administration and Department of Justice intentionally, willfully lying in courts and making unbelievable arguments. Which brings us to Harvard. And I'll end with the Supreme Court decision about immigration. Harvard's doing great in the courtroom. It's got a judge, Judge Burroughs in Massachusetts, and she just, for the second time in about 10 days, issued her second preliminary injunction in favor of Harvard and against the Trump administration. She found, effectively, that Trump, using his own words on social media posts, has been hell-bent on animus, on attacking and retaliating against Harvard because they won't bend the knee to him, that they won't allow the administration to take over the fundamental freedoms of academia. Who's on their faculty, who they select as students, how they select those students, and what they teach. And Harvard fought back. And Donald Trump ever since has tried to cut their funding, has tried to take them out of the game of having foreign students at all, which is a very lucrative proposition for universities. They make a lot of money out of foreign students. They do, because they pay top dollar on tuition, and Americans get a lot of student aid and grants and tuition. It's a dirty little secret of academia. It not only improves their teaching environment, their student life, to have a balanced, diverse student body. I certainly went to a school that had exactly that, and I came out better for it. But it's also, when you have 25% of your faculty paying top dollar the rack rate of your students, international students, it helps. Even though, Harvard has the number one endowment, just millions, tens of hundreds of millions of dollars that they can invest, they still need to bring in revenue each year. And Donald Trump decided to go after them and hit them where they live. Cut off their flow of foreign students under the false flag of rooting out anti-Semitism on campus. I'm all for that. This is not what's happening, though. And the judge went through all of Donald Trump's social media posts and said, this is you attacking Harvard and its faculty and its students having nothing to do with national security. See, Donald Trump's lawyers came to court and lied. And the judge said, it doesn't even pass the straight face test. It strains credulity. It is beyond the bounds. It's absurd, is what she said. To have the Trump administration argue to her face, so another lie, that the only reason that they're cracking down on Harvard, admitting certain visa types, doing it two ways, right? One, they're trying to cancel Harvard's participation in the student exchange program on the government side. And then on the immigration side, they're trying to cancel the visas for people who had Harvard as a sponsor. That's the newest preliminary injunction. And the judge says this is completely based on animus, not national security. Look at the timing of the social media post by Donald Trump, and the Department of Justice and the Trump administration says no. They're days apart, these postings by Trump and the retaliatory conduct. There's no causal link. The judge said that is bordering on the absurd, and I don't believe it. She said this is all animated by animus. This is all animated by Donald Trump being upset and the Trump administration being upset because Harvard is fighting back. This violates the First Amendment, the Fifth Amendment. It violates the Administrative Procedures Act. And then she ends her decision quoting George Washington and his farewell address to the officers, in which she said, the First Amendment is so important that if we don't have it, then we will just be silently led to the slaughter. She's not going to let Harvard be silently led to the slaughter. She's not going to let America's democracy be slaughtered by the Trump administration over her dead body. So she's granted another preliminary injunction. Now, I know there's reporting, including coming out of the New York Times, that seems to suggest that Harvard is on the cusp of cutting a deal. And I have said this more times than I care to repeat, but I'll do it one more time. Don't settle. It sets a terrible precedent. You're in the driver's seat. You're winning in federal court. You'll win at the First Circuit as well, the appellate court. You'll probably win at the United States Supreme Court, but given their peculiar rulemaking, I can't guarantee it, but it is worth the fight. Just like the big law firms have to fight back. Anybody that's been picked on and retaliated against from this presidency has to fight back. Now, the reporting in the New York Times is like, well, Harvard is sort of squeamish because they know what it looks like optically, and they don't want to look like they're appeasing. They are appeasing. Don't appease. You can't cut a deal. It's like cutting a deal with Hitler. And we know what happened next. Yeah? Don't be Poland don't, at the time. And don't be Neville Chamberlain in the UK. Be Harvard. Stand for the principles, the bedrock of your principles. Stand up on them. You are standing on the shoulders of ghosts of Harvard that would be turning over in their grave if they knew that you were throwing in the towel against the Trump administration, especially when you're winning. Don't do it. You got Judge Burroughs on your side. I was saying in your back pocket. Sorry, that suggests corruption. But you have her on your side. And all the things I've been talking about tonight, the whistleblower letter, Judge Burroughs' order, all up on the Legal AF Substack. You can take a look for yourself that I'm accurately reporting everything. Welcome back. You know me from Legal AF. Been doing it for 5 years, co-founder. Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Midas Touch Network. Or you know me from Legal AF, the YouTube channel, where I curate, along with another dozen contributors, at the intersection of law and politics. Or maybe you know me from Legal AF, the Substack. Or maybe you don't know me at all. And now's the time. I have a show by myself on Tuesdays, no training wheels, called The Intersection. What else? Join me there Saturdays. I'm sorry, where am I? Join me there Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Midas Touch Network, and then wherever you get your audio podcast from. And I need more audio podcast downloads, and here's your chance. Leave a 5-star review. It helps keep this show afloat and signal to the algorithmic gods and my bosses at Midas that you like me on The Intersection. Till my next report, I'm Michael Popok. I'm Michael Popok, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popok Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popok Firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event, by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states, and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popok Firm today at 1-877-POPOK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopokfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popok Firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.